Hello everyone, welcome back. How are you all doing? In this video, we will be talking about the historic Oahu Railway and Land Company, or better known as ORL. There's a lot of history regarding that. The Oahu Railway Land Company, or ORL, was a 3-foot narrow gauge common carrier railway that served much of the Hawaiian island. It was the largest narrow gauge Class 1 common carrier in the U.S. until its dissolution in 1947. Now, the ORNL was founded by Benjamin Dillingham, a self-made businessman who arrived in Hawaii, or Honolulu, as a sailor in 1865. After falling from his horse and breaking his leg while riding in the countryside, Dillingham was forced to stay in Hawaii and recuperate. He decided to make the island kingdom his home. Dillingham had a great deal of business acumen and soon became wealthy and influential in the early period of history of Hawaii. I have some pictures in the video showing about what he looked like. He was born on September 4th, 1844 in Brewster, Massachusetts. Died in April 7th, 1918 at the age of 73. He was a businessman. His wife was Emma Louise Smith, and children. He had a son, Walter Dillingham. Now, very famous person, as and that's, you could really tell a separate story on Walter Dillingham. He's the one that built the Aloi Canal, dry dock at Pearl Harbor, and a lot of other things. So he was very, very well known in Hawaii. Now, I have some pictures of what he looked like, Ben Dillingham. A lot of old photos of the locomotives back in those days. Among the development ideas he conceived in the 1870s of the arid Ewa Plain as an excellent location for human settlement. However, there were two problems: lack of water and, more significantly, a lack of transportation. The trip from Honolulu to the Ewa Plain by horse-drawn wagon was an all-day affair. The key was to build a railroad. Now, around the time Dillingham was dreaming of the railroad, another businessman by the name of James Campbell successfully dug Eva's first artesian well in 1879, effectively solving the water problem. Campbell, who had purchased 40,000 acres of Ewa land, thought he might start a cattle ranch, but quickly realized that Eva's rich volcanic soil, which overlays a massive ancient coral reef, combined with year-round sunshine and supply of water, was ideal for growing sugarcane. Within a couple of years, sugarcane plantations were sprouting up in this southwestern part of Oahu, and the need for transportation between the harbor and Ewa was becoming essential. Now, while Dillingham's dream of large-scale settlement on the Ewa Plain would have to wait until the last decades of the 20th century, his plan or railroad to the area came together quickly. He leased Campbell's Eva and Kahuku land to start two sugarcane plantations and obtained a government railroad charter from King David Kalakaua on September 11, 1888. After securing the capital, Dillingham broke ground in March of 1889 with the goal of connecting the 12 miles between Honolulu and Aiea demanded in the charter by fall of 1889. On November 16, 1889, the King's birthday, OR&L officially opened with free rides to 4,000 passengers. Wow. In 1892, the line was 8.5 miles long and reached the Eva Sugar Mill, home of Dillingham's Eva Plantation Company property. Now, although progress stalled during the chaos of the late Kingdom and early Republican periods, by 1895 the railroad had passed through what would become the junction of Waipahu, traversed the Eva Plain, and was skirting the Waianae Coast sugar mill there. After issuing gold bonds in January 1897, the company extended the railroad around Oahu's rugged Taina Point, Haleiwa, on the North Shore. By June of 1897, where Dillingham built that famous hotel, the Haleiwa Hotel. That's where, I think in a previous video I showed where President Roosevelt stayed at that hotel. By December of 1898, the main line was complete, stretching past Waimea Bay and Sunset Beach, all the way to Kahuku. And the Kahuku sugar mill, past the island's northernmost tip. Although a Circle Island line was proposed, it was never seriously considered. In 1906, an 11-mile branch line was constructed from Waipahu up the Waikalua Gulch to Wahiawa and the pineapple fields of central Oahu. The railroad had taken the final shape. Now, OR&L was not a sugarcane railroad. While it served several sugar mills and plantation, it also hauled end products, equipment, and workers. Sugarcane plantations sometimes had their own lines. As a common carrier, OR&L carried freight, passengers, mail, and parcels. For instance, besides sugar and pineapple, railroad hauled garbage from Honolulu to a dump on the Waianae Coast, sand from Waianae to Honolulu during the development of Waikiki, and served the major military bases: Pearl Harbor, Lincoln Field, Harbor's Point Naval Air Station, Schofield Barracks, and Wheeler Army. So it was a multi-purpose use railroad. World War II eventually came upon, and it was arguably the OR&L's most important period, but will prove to be the company's undoing. After the December 7, 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor, the OR&L became a major player in wartime transportation. The railroad carried out its regular freight operations as well as handling massive amounts of military-related traffic. It was helping the military during that period. Now, by the end of the war, most of the rolling stock right-of-way and facilities were worn out. company's executives pondered whether or not to continue operations. At the end of the hostilities, wartime traffic dried up. Moreover, Oahu's road network had been upgraded significantly. Thus, for the first time, there was serious road companies driving on roads in the demise of the railroad at that time. Anyway, that's the story of the ORNL. Hope you found it interesting. Mahalo for listening or watching. Ahui ho.